wanna do now is making it last. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, friends forever, strengthening the ties that keep us together. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, friends forever, strengthening the ties that keep us together.
I am Noreen Daly, and welcome to Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. This time, the topic for discussion is how can children be encouraged to speak more, given the tendency to be isolated because of technology? Because I have noticed, and a lot of times, older people have the tendency of saying that they're not sure what is happening with some of our young people or even some of our children, because when they're not on the tablets, they're on something. So hence, it's part of the thinking behind a topic like this, because ultimately all of this will impact on how they relate and how their social skills are developed. So for us to talk about that for a bit is Antonette Brooks, who works in child protection. Hello, ma'am, and welcome.
Hi, Noreen. Thanks for having me.
So how can children be encouraged to speak more?
You know, I think one of the things that we need to be mindful of is that children too have opinions, not just about things that impact them, but opinions about various things in life. And so I think one of the ways we can encourage them to speak more is by seeking to find out what their opinions are and getting those opinions to help in decision making, whether it's decisions for them or even decisions for us. For example, in a family, if it's a young child, you can early on allow that child to help to decide what it is that they want to wear. That's something simple, but it shows them that what they think and how they feel matters. If it's a decision about where we are going as a family, if we're going out, where would the child like to go? What are the things that the child likes to do? So seeking their opinion, I believe, helps in terms of giving them a voice and showing them that what they think and feel matters.
Given the tendency and with all of the for want of a better word, distractions, whether the tablet, the phone, how can, this voice be encouraged?
We have to look at their interests. If they're going to be talking to us or talking to anybody, they would be most likely to talk about something that they are passionate about or find interesting. So if we can get children involved in activities that they like, for example, in school, extracurricular activities, get them to participate in church activities, that helps. And we've seen where, research even shows that children who participate in church, attend church regularly, do a number of things that they tend to do better. They tend to be more comfortable speaking in public because they would have had some practice among their peers and also practice among older persons. So this too is another way, with all the distractions, to get them into something they like, and in that way teach them how to feel comfortable speaking before and with other persons.
There's somebody listening right now and they're saying, but as it is, I am the parent, I am the adult, I'm the one who should dictate what is done. So what then is your response to somebody with that mindset?
That's a thing of the past, really, that children are to be seen and not heard. Yes, you are the adults, but remember, the children are the future. And what they become will depend heavily on what we are putting into them now. So right now, we need to look at what kind of adult we are building. Are we building somebody who when they get older, they are going to be scared to talk. They are going to be scared to share what their views are? Or do we want to build the kind of adult who is confident, who has high self-esteem, who is assertive, who can, stand up and speak about their passions and not be scared to let the world know whatever it is they think about something?
I'm loving the fact that you said, what kind of adult are we building? Because so many of us sometimes forget that what we're inputting, we will not know whether negatively or positively the impact until years or sometimes even months down the road. So we just have to be more deliberate and more conscious in terms of what it is that we are, inputting, so to speak. Now, a lot of times, and I know I said distractions, and to some people it might have had some sort of negative connotation, but how then can we ensure that children strike the balance so that when they're utilizing the technology, which is accessible to them, it doesn't create this sense of isolation with others?
Technology, it can be negative, it can have negative impact, but we can use the technology to our advantage. We can use it positively. We can even use the technology to help the children to speak more.
How so?
One way, I think, is I mentioned before about teaching them how to express their interests. We can help a child by having them create videos. The child can use the same technology, create a video about something that they are passionate about, post it on YouTube or wherever you as the parent or guardian feel comfortable with them posting it. So you can have them use the very same technology. They can do things with their friends, or you can even do things as a family. You can create a video as a family where you would have control, some level of control at least, over what it is that is in this video. And then the child would get to see a way that, they can use the technology, and you're still teaching them to speak up.
Yeah. We've covered several things. You said get their opinion, get them involved. We need to be mindful in terms of what kind of adult we're building, and even utilizing the technology, so to speak, in terms of even creating videos, whether them by themselves or even as a family project or, with other people. Anything else that you think we really should highlight? Because we know we can't exhaust something like this, but is there anything else you think we can highlight in terms of how we can encourage them to speak more? And of course, encourage them to speak more, hopefully, with the intention that the adults will be more open to that, so it will positively impact, because we can encourage them to speak more and it actually impacts negatively on relationships if the adult isn't open. So this is with the hope that it will have a positive impact. So is there anything else that you think we need to highlight in terms of encouraging children to speak up more?
We can create the time and the space to facilitate this. For example, if you want to limit TV time or you want to limit time with gadgets, set aside a particular time of day of the week when we're going to say, okay, and we can give it a nice name, put it down. And there's a 2-hour slot for put it down or lay aside. And everybody lays their gadgets aside for those 2 hours. And we have family time during that time. You decide as a family what it is that you want to use that time for. If you want to use it to play games, because that's bonding. And you'll also be talking during that. Or do you want to use it as time for like a family meeting where everyone can share what their concerns are within the family, as well as what it is that they are thankful for within the family. And this could be something that the child actually ends up looking forward to. Time spent with siblings or parents or whichever other relatives reside in the home, that everybody just puts their gadgets aside and it's just about us. Because you're teaching them, even in that time and in that space, that you are important and everybody in this family unit is important, and it helps them to grow up feeling that, you know, people are important, and doing things together, activities together, where it's just us and, you know, no distractions. It will help us to recognize the importance of relationships and socializing with people and not just using things.
Creating time and space. I believe that's a wonderful note to end on, because with all that happens, the busyness, so to speak, of life, how many times we really stop to think that we need to make the time, create the time, the space to just spend with the little ones and with also other people. So as we're wrapping up, Antonette, if somebody was listening and they said, yeah, all of this is nice and good, what's the one thing you want to leave with the listeners?
I believe the one thing I'd want to leave is that we have a lot of power in our hands to create the kind of future that we want to see. And the best way to create that future is to invest in the people who will be the future. And so we have the power through our interactions with children, through what we teach them, through what we input in them, to help to shape what things will look like for us and for them further down the line. I just love for us to always remember that we have the power. Whatever it is that we see now that we're not pleased with, we have the power to make a change for the future.
Thank you so much, Antonette. Thank you. And I am sure you'll
You're
be
welcome.
back. Just a feeling I have. or our question for consideration was, how can children be encouraged to speak more, given the tendency to be isolated because of technology? We trust that as a parent, as an aunt, as an uncle, you got something that will help in some way to improve your relationship with a little one. This has been the Making It Last podcast with your host, Noreen Daly, where it's all about helping you to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. Until next time.
You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life won't live.